Welcome to your magical moon message. This is the Peace Dealer. Moon in Libra. Okay. Sun in Gemini. We are coming into the balanced classic understanding of the cycle of enlightenment. We are once again updating. It's a fancy way of saying this is where things start to get fun because we activate the Leo signature here. And relative to this Leo signature activation, the fifth house aspect to the sun, this enables us to fully express our inner child and talents. So the way you want to see this, for example, the sun's 8 degrees, the moon's going to be 8-degree Libra, right? The way you want to see this is when you ride a bike, the activation of the cycle is getting on the bicycle and accelerating the pedals from a stagnant state. Or maybe you push to start, gain some momentum. That 90-degree square of any transit, in this case moon in Virgo, sun in Gemini, is the crucial beginning of integration where you now need to offset the weight of yourself on the bike with the speed you bike to maintain that balance. And of course, you getting from point A to point B to where you now reach a steady state and speed, we can look at as the harvest, and then you can now build up on that speed and come into a complete top level speed. That's the completion, the 270 degrees from the sun. So we just finished adjusting our perception with the moon in Virgo. You've activated new programs in your mind, new abilities, right? New ways of thinking that you do every year, whether you're conscious of it or not. And now the moon in Virgo gave you an analytical understanding of how to actually perceive what has changed relative to your physical environment. This is similar to now adjusting and maintaining momentum, or I guess inertia, on the bicycle so that you don't fall off the bike. And right after you know what I'm talking about, like when you ride a bike or even drive a car, after that initial balance where you finally are steady, what can you start to do? Now you can ride the bike as fast as you want. You finally got through that hoop, and now nice. Now you can, relative to this balance, fully express the possible applications of you riding this bike. And that's what the fifth house transit lets us do. We get to now take our bicycle and ride it at top speed, or at least at the most we can handle. Because then the sixth house transit, when the moon's in Scorpio, or of any cycle, is where we now start to balance that top speed into one that adjusts, that's not too fast and that's not too slow. Boom, then we harvest it. That's the analogy I want to kind of give with this. Since the moon in Libra is cardinally moving forward, this perception, this true perception, you're coming into more realizations of not only what and who you are, because you're not your name, you're not a nationality, you're not a color, right? When your soul leaves your body, who is that, right? And Gemini is giving you a perceptual, enlightened awareness of updated to this state in your life, what to call that. The moon in Libra helps you understand the social contextual basis with which you can fully express and understand how to express the truth of you, which of course will bring clashes, differences in opinion. You know what I'm saying? Personally, where other people who may even disagree and say things contrary to what you believe may, in being them and saying that, affirm what it is you believe, if you're able to literally read between the lines and look symbolically at what certain actions mean and whether people follow through with integrity in their actions relative to your ability to do so, and what that makes what in that moment. So you're understanding how to balance your awareness of who you are relative to how you communicate that to other people, act socially with other people. Now that you've activated this evolution of your identity, you're giving it a voice and expression. So when the moon is 11th house from Gemini and Aries, because now you're fully expressing the social and balanced understanding of how to communicate your truth, then in Aries, opposite this, you'll understand what individual actions to take. You'll have a individual understanding of who you are and what this truth is, and relative to that, who your true friends are, like who belongs with you. And so this is really going to inspire more creativity. Foolish Babble 3, I actually wrote last year when the moon was in Libra. So it was just, truly creative for me. It just kind of came through. And fifth house transits like this inspire you to tap into your inner child and to just express. Now that you have gotten the adjustment to maintain speed, you get to now, relative to this new magical ability or new magic language you're crafting, now express. After Moon in Virgo showed you the initial results, like seeds you plant initially growing through the ground, now you know what direction to take it in and with who. So the moon opposite Chiron in Aries will bring vulnerabilities in accepting who you are. And this is where, if you might have gotten in your ego, you don't want to be too resistant to correction and change. You'll know because of integrity. If you're out of alignment with integrity, you just need to be honest with yourself. But you also don't want to allow people to gaslight or manipulate you into feeling you're wrong when you're right. So if you'll know because you're in integrity, you're aligned with integrity. So let that be the discernment and compass as we make the will of God on earth as it is in heaven, as above, so below. The quincunx to Uranus in Taurus provides this intellectual understanding relative to the social integration of yourself breaking through with others, the effects of your body. And before the moon goes into Sagittarius and transforms your perception of it, the moon in Libra, Scorpio, and Sag is breaking you through into the application of your supernatural abilities and the understanding of the supernatural qualities of your body that you can realistically apply real time. This is getting you out of the whole conceptual basis of this, where you might think and feel of this as a concept when it's as real as an appliance that you can actually use right now. And so that quincunx will snap you into reality, which is also forming a yod with Saturn. This is going to, with Mercury in Taurus and Saturn in Pisces, facilitate a transformation of your beliefs relative to a direct application of your magical abilities that literally forces you to now take serious what was formerly a concept. So a day like today is where you really ponder. That would be really amazing if I can think of people and they would just call me instantly. And it's something that you believe as a concept. It's nothing you doubt, but it's entirely different when you're thinking of Gertrude and, oh, hold on, Gertrude is calling me right now. That at a subconscious and conscious level now breaks that concept into something that is subconscious memory you've done, or you're at least aware of doing. And look forward to that, because once the moon is in Scorpio, this is going to intensify the psychological understanding of how to integrate these talents. The great thing about the fifth house or Leo, it is a form of going God mode. It is a form of extending this full expression into unlocking one's potential. And the understanding of this balance will definitely be expressed through here. The sextile to Mars in Leo will help you understand how to balance this passion you can express more classily. But if you still want to be petty and ratchet, Chiron in Aries is here to help you at least channel that. The Venus in Cancer square is going to help you balance emotions that you feel, so that you're not just mindlessly catching feelings, but there are more symbolic context towards what and why you are feeling what you're feeling. Not that you need a reason, but it will help, of course, balance things. And that's really all I want to say. Talk your shit. Spit your game and talk your shit. This is really just favoring fully expressing your ideas. Before, with wisdom in Scorpio, we temper and then come into the meaning in Sagittarius, which will harvest our magical abilities. So relative to this, pretend or imagine or recognize and accept, not only are you the creator of your reality, you have just created new words and abilities that take the state you maintain through gestures, thoughts, feelings, and now you are in a position to fully express these magic words and come into the excitement of seeing and experiencing them take place, right? Like a journey and adventure that will complete with the ninth house in Aquarius, where you'll know what you've been fully expressing right now. And this is where it will master, complete, and will harvest all of this. So put in the work, because Moon in Libra and Scorpio is the final part of this integration before we harvest the seeds. And now that you know what magic words you want to produce, what effect, or what state of mind you want to be in, continue to think as if you are living in this end state, but let the Moon in Libra help you understand how to integrate this social understanding and context of your magical abilities, and more importantly, how to have fun while doing it, how to integrate it in conversations with people, you know what I'm saying, so that it's not a double life you're living, but it's all unified. And yeah, outside of that, I think you're really going to enjoy the developments on this day. Yeah, we're not going to see the squares. It's going to trine, the 0 degree trine to Libra and Pluto and Aquarius is subtle, but it really just peels a layer off of inhibition from the collective and society, so that you don't really care as much about giving into societal expectations to the point that you compromise who you are just to impress people who don't even know you. You stay blessed, or even worse, people who, think they know, or you feel you're obligated to because they're family, friends, or whatever the fuck. All right. Pluto in Aquarius is going to remind you that a lot of long-standing traditions, idioms that we tell each other every day, I would say 99.99999%, that of course, feel right. And we tell this to each other all the time, so how could they be wrong? They're wrong. In fact, we're stupid for ever entertaining them. But hey, that's all about enlightenment, recognizing we don't know shit. Y'all stay blessed as always.